You are the Power Rangers. This is your time. Okay, now that's cool! The fate of the universe is in your hands.
After 10,000 years, I'm free! It's time to conquer Earth!
Alpha, leaders escape. Recruit a team of teenagers with attitudes.
Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Go, go, Power Rangers! Mighty Morphin Power Rangers!
Hello everyone, welcome to another Fowl Original. I'm going to get screwed over for it anyway on a copyright claim, so I might as well let it play. I don't even care. I'm going to get screwed over for copyright claims, so screw it. Screw them. It's literally not my concern. I do not care. This is going to be a copyright claim, and I don't care. I'm happy about it. Happy about it. Because it's frickin' Power Rangers. So, hello everyone, welcome to another Fowl Originals news round. Oh my god, it's been such a bloody day, it has. I've been running around like a goddamn maniac, trying to get the show ready. And now I've just realised I've done something stupid. Oh, there we go. That's better. And then we put this, and then we put this, and then... But damn! Hello everyone, welcome to another Fowl Original. Hello there, Ben's List. And yes, so I've been out and about tonight doing stupidness, and I realised, like, obviously, a lot of news is going to be happening tonight. A hell of a lot of news. But the real news tonight is this. That Power Rangers is now 25 years old. The first episode of Power Rangers aired today. Yeah, it aired today. Do you understand how old I feel at this exact moment in time? I feel like... I did go to the cinema. We'll be talking about that later on. But I literally feel like... It's like, look here. I see this logo. And this logo to me means cereal. This logo to me means school holidays. This logo to me means sweet, sweet, sweet ninja action. That's what this logo means to me. And I understand that for some people, Power Rangers is Saban's Power Rangers. And it is the film. For those people, I pity thee. Because the other Power Rangers movie is alright. But this, my friend, and I'm going to get copyright claimed on this bit. I know I will, but I don't care, because you know why? Because Power Rangers, that's why. And if you want to help me out of the jam that I'm going to get in once I do get copyright claimed on this, then you can go to... You can go to fowloriginal.com. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you can help support the channel and pay for my legal costs. If you go to support the channel, this is why I sound so like destroyed, because I've been and about. You can go become a Patreon. I'm going to be fixing that soon. I say I'm going to be fixing that soon. I will be fixing that soon. And then when you get to the website, then you can go to donate. And when you go to donate, you can pop in like monies. You type in monies, like, what about $1,000? You can even make this a monthly donation. I will give Fowl Original $1,000. You will not give me $1,000 a month. But if you want to give a one-off donation, you can through the debit card, etc., etc., etc. While we slowly but surely and hopefully try to find a sponsor at some point for all this stupidness. But thank you for joining us, everyone, here. So today, for all of you, is National Power Rangers Day, and I couldn't be any happier because I love the Power Rangers. I always have loved the Power Rangers. The Power Rangers were my first real introduction to proper camp, yeah, to like proper camp, because I loved it, yeah. Everybody loved it. Didn't matter your race. Didn't matter your creed. So old. Didn't matter your race, your creed, your financial situation. Didn't matter. Everybody bloody loved Power Rangers. It didn't matter. And yes, it was very 90s. Very, very 90s. And that's why I loved it. And yes, it was a little bit, if you think about it, looking back at it, Blue Ranger, find out he's gay later. Spoilers. Yellow Ranger, Chinese. Green Ranger, oh, we don't know. Red Ranger, leader. Pink Ranger, woman. Black Ranger, black person with a shotgun axe. I mean, these are things that, these are my Power Rangers. So what I wanted to know was, whom are your Power Rangers? They were obviously like the Alien Rebel Power Rangers. I watched Power Rangers up to like Zeo. I went past Zeo. I'm sure that I went to at least like Wild Force, and then I was like, I don't have time for this. I could really, really, really do like Sentai, Super Sentai style stuff. So that like Big Bad Beetleborgs, all of that time, yeah, of Saban existing, I was very, very happy with the content they produced. And I was a child who knew better, but did not have cable. So I literally was so happy. And I was talking about this the other day. Power Rangers also mean to me Mr. Motivator, because Mr. Motivator was around when Power Rangers was there for me to begin with. Like, Mr. Motivator was there, Power Rangers were there, there was a show on the TV where theoretically I should be like doing like kick-ass stuff. I did karate when I was younger, obviously brown, but did karate, and then I was like, I could be a Power Ranger. Thank you for inviting those people, Rain G. Thank you for inviting folks to here. So this is my appreciation. Like, obviously, Fowl Originals News Round is all about the news, but this is the biggest news of the whole day. This is the news that will make me happy when I go to sleep. And I'm going to do when I go to sleep, before I go to sleep, I'm going to watch an episode of Power Rangers. I don't even care which episode it is. I don't even care. I don't care. It could be anything. I'm probably going to watch one of the episodes. You know what I'm going to do, yeah? Like, I'm actually going to seek out to watch the Green Ranger saga, because goddamn that Green Ranger. I freaking loved the Green Ranger. I love the Green Ranger. He was the badass of the Rangers. This is just basically my review on how much I love Power Rangers, and I feel like it fits within Fowl Originals News Round, because this is news today. And yes, and I just remember thinking, like, there are many people out there that are not even as old as Power Rangers is. This is why it makes me feel very old, because it's just automatic now. I'm like, there are people out there. They lost the first battle and hated having to wait for the win. You're very right, Rain. You're very right. How old was you when Power Rangers come? Don't call it Power Rangers. It's Power Rangers, yeah. Respect the Rangers. Respect the code. Respect the fact that these guys fought for our freedom. They were the Jesus ninjas of the Americas. Angel Grove, ooh, more like angels who protected the Grove. That's what I felt. And Biker Grove is another show which was around at the same time. Connections, my friends. But I'm not going to tell you how old I was when Power Rangers came out. Let's just say I feel a little bit older. I feel a little bit old. I wasn't like freaking like 20 when it came out, but I was definitely in the age range. I'm 34, who knows? You do the math. Exactly. Who needs to do the math, Rain? No one wants to do the math. But basically what I'm saying is Power Rangers was amazing, and I have not watched the stupid Power Rangers in 2017. I did not, that doesn't exist to me. This, my friends, Mighty Morphing Power Rangers, everything up to Zeo, basically everything up till about Billy left. I think I watched till Billy left. I feel like I watched the whole way through. Everyone else went off to do other stuff. I believe Amy Jo Johnson is dead. I don't know this, potentially. I can't remember. I didn't really do any kind of like actual research for this. It's just Power Rangers, goddammit! So thank you thank you for allowing me to tell you about how much I love Power Rangers for the past 10 minutes. This is like a 7 minutes in heaven for me. Like, I freaking love the Power Rangers. Like, does anybody remember Turbo? Like, okay, quickly, yeah, briefly. In Power Rangers Turbo, which I bought on VHS when I was a child, yeah, I specifically made my mother buy me Power Rangers Turbo on VHS because I didn't want to miss out on the story for when they were coming back. Such a geeky child, such a geeky child. But I made my mother buy Power Rangers Turbo. It was like 13, 14 quid on VHS. This is an expensive VHS my mother purchased for me, yeah. I had vouchers, I think. Good Asian child. But Power Rangers Turbo is the story of how one of the Rangers is a little boy. So one of these Rangers, Shazam style, is a little boy. And he like, when he morphs into a Ranger, he gets bigger. And it's hilarious because, like, there's this little kid, like, in the Zord. It's absolutely insane. But the whole show was about cars, and I was like, why is the kid driving a car? Why is the kid driving a car? Yes, I also, of the Power Rangers toys, unfortunately, my mother wasn't really, like, flush enough to buy me an actual Megazord built up of all the Zords. Unfortunately, what she did buy for me, because she knows how much I love Power Rangers, which is why actually, my mum's watching tonight. Thank you, mother, yeah? Because apparently my mum might watch tonight. But thank you, mother, for buying me this, yeah? So she bought me, like, a little Megazord, and it had, like, a remote control on it, and you could just, the Megazord would just walk gently. Yeah, the remote control had a cable as well, so it would kind of just move. It came with a sword. It kind of moved. You could take the legs off, but that was as much as I could do until Toy Day, when people brought in like the actual Megazord, and then I was like, oh my god. Then people had like the Dragon Zord and stuff, and I was like, I remember I saw some kid out with one of the knives the other day, you know, the Green Ranger knife, and I saw him with it, and I was like, oh my god, how did he get that from? This was like 10 years ago. Automask. Anyway, that's enough of my absolute appreciation for goddamn Power Rangers. And also, quick shout out to Mr. Motivator, if he's still alive. The yellow one is dead, the green one is in prison for murder, and the black is a drug dealer. The green one is not in prison for murder, yeah? Jason David Franks is all good. Jason David Franks is, there's a video of him teaching people how to become a Power Ranger. He challenged CM Punk to like a fight at some point. Hello, Bucks. Hello, DFKGF. But as I said, this show has always been the news with a twist. So today, I give and I doff the tip of my hat to the goddamn Power Rangers, yeah. The goddamn Power Rangers. And I don't hate new Power Rangers. I like the fact that Power Rangers still exists. National Tuna Baguette, hashtag, hello there, Sauchi Noir. Yeah, but like, yes. Anyway, that's enough of that, yeah. It's enough of me just creaming all over. Thank you for inviting your followers, Bucks. I'm not going to cream all over. Did the red one kill? I'd give it to Google. You get some sleep. Of course I got some sleep. Yo, I always get sleep. I got works to do too. Did the red one kill? I'd give it to Google. Doth. Doth pretend. Oh, no. This is the beginning of the show. DFKGF. So anyway, that's my Power Rangers love. I love Power Rangers. I really do. I wish, yeah, that right now, and I will do it, and it will be really bad, but I don't care. I'm going to buy myself a little Morpher because I can't afford a Zord or anything, but I could happily afford a Morpher. I could get a Morpher. Morpher's going to be like, what, 5-6 quid? I could 3D print a Morpher. You're the Jewish Power Ranger. What's the Jewish Power Ranger? Oive. I don't even know what Oive would be. What would your Zord be? Ah, your Zord would be made of cardboard because you wouldn't want to spend any money on the Zord, would you? Or maybe it was made of gold? The Golden Zord? Anyway, enough casual racism. My weapon is a mouldy tuna baguette. That's not going to kill anyone, Bucks. Anyway, on to our regular schedule program. Because I am going to get copyright claim for that at the beginning, so I'm going to make sure that I get my full value from that. So thank you everyone for, and hashtag National Power Rangers Day. Anyway, back to our next segment, which is in other news. Actually, first of all, just to break it down a second here, let's go to in other news, Metro moments. So this show has become proper ghetto today because unfortunately I had to go see a film, which we'll talk about in a minute, but like, so I got my copy of the Metro. You joined late. I think last stream you were trying harder to focus. Oh, DFG. Don't worry about that. That was about the Power Rangers anyway. In other news, Metro moments. So this is a copy of today's Metro. I feel like I've been kidnapped. This is a copy of today's Metro, and if you don't send at least £15, I will be killed. By kindness. Or by chocolate. Probably death by chocolate. And the red one did 6 years for murder. I would throw Stars of David at everyone. Genocide, you say? Yes, genocide. This is why I didn't want to start with the Metro, because the front page of the Metro is just this. But also, the front page of the Metro is an ad for the Great British Bake Off, which started today. So I've actually got a naked copy of it over here without it, because this is a no GBBO zone. I'm not watching stupid Bake Off, yeah. Apparently there's veganism on, I don't even care. We'll talk about it later on. I know that on the Twitters, someone has been eliminated, and I don't care. I like baking, but I don't like other people baking. Thank you very much, Rain. Feel free to subscribe to the channel, etc. Proper ghetto, I'm using that accent and all. This is ghetto, this is all the ghettos, yeah. Like, I don't have money for the show. Do you understand this? Like, what? You haven't even seen the setup that I'm looking at. This is the most ghetto setup. Like, this is broom cupboard stuff, and I'm making sure I don't swear as well. Anyway, let's let's have a little look at the stories that I just highlighted in the metro today when I was sitting there. Hopefully funny stories, and yeah, will they be kosher? Well, you know, I checked kosher. Well, that wasn't a kosher spelling of kosher. Now the genocide verse, no. Carnival, no. Quickly look at this quick edit of what we doing. No. Oh, here we go. It's nice one. All right. From the Metro. Yeah. Show me page 3. Ain't no boobs in this paper books. Now, this one, I thought, okay, I wonder if they. It's not the Jewish Times. Like, so this story is quite a big story here. Now, too short to chef. Teen told he's a safety risk. He's a little guy. He's a little guy there. You see, he's a little guy. What could this all be? A teenager claims he has been banned from his dream catering course because his 3'10" height inch makes him a health and safety risk in the kitchen. Case closed. Lewis Makepeace, 18, has achondroplasty. Achondroplasty. I'm gonna try. Let's try and actually let's be a little respectful here. Achondroplasia. Achondroplasia. There we go. A form of short-limbed dwarfism. But he says it was never an issue until a college started backtracking on giving him a place. We are supposed to have equality of opportunity here, yet I'm not allowed to do something I love doing, said Louis, who is a huge fan of Italian TV chef Gino D'Acampo. He likes Gino D'Acampo. Great. Fair enough, grow or go. Get some stilts. This is what I'm saying, Bucks, yeah. You get some stilts. Anyway. They are simply not prepared to make the necessary adjustments to accommodate me, much as making the surfaces and hobs lower. Well, I mean, exactly. I don't see you moaning about it. Exactly, it's true, Bucks. Now, he was offered a conditional place on the hospitality and catering course at the Heart of Worcestershire College on August 16th, but claims he has been told he is too small for the kitchen and would pose a safety risk and disruption to the other 14 students. His mother, Pauline, also claimed she was told there was no point in Louis even doing the course, as he would never be allowed to work in a commercial kitchen. That is unfair. And I'm going to kind of zip through a little bit, but let's get to the end. He likes cooking. He likes Gino D'Acampo. And they won't give me a straight answer. But when I asked the course leader whether he should find another course, he told me it was probably a good idea. He said it was pointless doing the course as he would never be allowed to work in a restaurant kitchen anyway, even if he was qualified. It was outrageous. You've actually been told you're Jewish before, Bucks. Exactly. Illuminati confirmed. There was a chap there several years ago who had the same condition as Louis, and they adjusted the kitchens for him. I would have thought they would have the same equipment that he could use. A college spokesman said, as a student's place at the college is still under discussion, we do not wish to make a comment. Here's a picture of him next to the logo of the... Like, he is a little bit of trouble for that college, eh? Now, still from the Metro. Cold flushes. Beluga whales have menopause. Scientists have discovered beluga whales and narwhals. Now, I love the fact that there is a story about narwhals in the Metro. That is automatically... Kids are a distraction in the kitchen. They trigger nervousness. It's true, and you can trip over them. Scientists have discovered beluga whales and narwhals are the latest species known to go through the menopause. Researchers from the University of Exeter, University of York, and the US Centre for Whale Research found dormant ovaries in older beluga and narwhals during a study of 16 different whales. It means 5 species are now known to stop reproducing and continue living afterwards. Along with humans, killer whales and short-finned pilot whales are the only other species identified. Most creatures in the world continue reproducing until they die. It's not Birmingham College Bucks. It is the Heart of Worcestershire. Basically Burns, yeah. What was we going? I wanted to. Oh, there's a story there that I want to be doubling over. We've got some. Gikmed. Hello, Gikmed. I don't know if you could try this. I don't know what you're saying. Anyway, this story is one that I'm going to quickly, as we briefly spoke over it yesterday. Yeah, the video gaming thing that happened at Jacksonville. We went over it a lot yesterday. So I'm just going to briefly give you what the Metro said about it, because it's the Metro in it. So this is the book. This is the book of life. Now, the killer who shot dead 2 video gamers at a tournament in Florida barely spoke to fellow competitors and sometimes exhibited an erratic playing style. It emerged yesterday. Oh, he was playing that Madden so erratic. Oh, apologies. David Carrs, 24, killed Eli Clayton and Taylor Robertson and wounded 9 others before turning the gun on himself after losing a virtual American football match in Jacksonville. Fellow gamer Shay Kivlin, 21, of Seattle said, "It just doesn't make sense why you would do it. You would never get so mad at a loss that you would want to do that." He said Katz, who may have been, "You're giving him more column inches. Why are you giving him more column inches?" No one seemed to understand that the only reason, and we spoke about this yesterday, and I got really angry about this, and I don't really want to now, because we're in other news, but the whole basis of this story is the fact that, as everybody seems to know, and this is something that has been spoken of in the media on many, exactly, he had a history of mental health problems, yet it was legal for him to get a gun. That was number one. As I said, gun issues, hot trigger, and I don't really want to talk about it. My whole belief about the whole system is that, well, people can get guns anyway, but I kind of like the fact that in the UK, I'm probably going to get stabbed and not shot, might survive it. And it's going to see the face of the person that hits me. And this whole story seems to be that this guy just went. And I said before, if this was a violent video, if this was like Doom, if this was like an Unreal tournament, I'm literally going to show my age. If this was an Unreal tournament, or if this was a Call of Duty tournament, then this would have been the end of e-gaming. Yeah? This would have been like Senate committees and stuff. Luckily, he was playing Madden. So what it really shows is that the average intelligence of a Madden fan is actually lower than that of a person that plays Call of Duty, which to me kind of makes sense. But it's really hardcore that this guy basically just, I mean, and you shouldn't, and you really shouldn't, but they are giving this guy, so this is a martyr right here. Look at that face. Look at that face. Look at him. Look at him. He kind of looks crazy, doesn't he? And let's paint him as so the next person that wants to do it will make sure that they get their face all over the world media. Because why the fudge not? Because that's something that's been spoken of, as I said yesterday, by psychologists on many an occasion. If you make them into a martyr, video games aren't linked to violence whatsoever. There are studies that have gone out there that study, like, they've gone to other kind of forms of media anyway. But the fact is, to trigger me, but the fact is that this occurred because a kid had a bit of a breakdown, and unfortunately, they put a lot of it. And that's the thing. It's a very dangerous situation, and that's what I mean. Like, it's not fair to label all gamers with that brush, and it's also not fair to, as the studies have shown, is basically, if you don't do this, if you don't plaster his photo of the person that has committed this crime everywhere, because a lot of times, why don't you just kill himself? Why do you have to take 2 lives with him? Because you don't get on the news if you just kill yourself, and that's the whole point, isn't it? And this is something that I said before when we were talking. There was a story a few weeks ago about a woman here in the UK who sexually abused one of her students, and there were no photos of this woman whatsoever. The same thing happened about a week later in the US, and there were just boom, photos of her everywhere, because it's not the story, it's the legacy, isn't it? And if you want to go out like that, and if you feel like you can no longer, at 17 years old, function in the world, and you're like, well, I'm going to go out with style, and it's just, he spoke openly about suicide, his overhead should have gotten him help. And that's the thing, yeah, like, it's, but anyway, enough of that, but that's what I wanted to say. So basically, they're now portraying this as a guy who had a bit of a breakdown after losing a match, and because it was that intense that he went and killed a bunch of people. I'm going to EGX in a few weeks, yeah. I ain't playing Madden. That's all I can say. I'm very happy I don't play Madden. I'm never going to get into a situation where I play someone that plays, like, is that hardcore about Madden that they're going to be, I don't even like American football. I'm well off it. I'll play a bit of FIFA though. Now, in other news, killer robots a threat to the planet, Summit warned. Experts from across the globe are drawing up plans to tackle killer robots. This is amazing. Killer robots. Futuristic weapon systems that could wage war without human intervention. Talks to thrash out ways of regulating lethal autonomous systems opened yesterday at the UN offices in Geneva, Switzerland. Artificial intelligence researcher Raisha Abdul Rahim of Amnesty International said, killer robots, I love this, killer robots are no longer the stuff of science fiction, and warned technological advances are outpacing international law. Amnesty urged countries to support a ban on governments and militaries developing the system. Now, if you think I've baked the story up, this is in the goddamn Metro, and I read this today, and I started going like, oh my god, robots are going to kill us. But there have been a lot of stories recently in the news about robots. Are we getting an iRobot style situation? Is Will Smith re-releasing iRobot? Is that what's happening next? This is an amazing grassroots campaign. Viral as hell. Oh, this is NatWest. If you bank with NatWest. NatWest, do you want to sponsor me, NatWest? I'll take your monies. As I said, I'm whoring myself out at the moment. I don't really mind. This is another one. In brief. Keep it quiet. Shh. 1 in 4 partners have a secret. More than a quarter of us keep secrets from our partners. A poll of 2,000 adults found. These are said to include our location, shopping habits, debts and affairs, past or present. I don't know why I did it that way. 1 in 20 people currently harbours a huge secret. And it's a huge secret. 12% of women admit keeping something hush-hush. Compared with 8% of men. Because nothing like, you might as well just say it now, innit? Honesty is always the best policy when it comes to relationships. You can't take a chance on love, said lottery company Lottoland, which is behind the poll. I love these polls because they're just, and I love the Metro. I love the Metro for this amazing like kind of journalism, this amazing adversarial journalism, which is why I love it. This is another. I love just the art, the headline here. Yeah, and I think we're going to get ready to end Metro Moments in a second. Thank you for inviting your followers again, Ben. So like, this one is. I don't want to talk about the story there because that story is very just. But anyway, we're going to talk about this story, which is knife crime sees sales of slash-proof clothing rise. So I was like, what? So a clothing label that makes stab-proof hoodies has said it is doing a roaring trade in London after more than 100 murders in the capital so far this year. Well, business is booming. Blade Runner, great name, by the way, great name, said it had seen a 22% rise in demand for its £80. It's pretty good, actually. That's not too bad. £80 slash hoodies and cut-resistant Kevlar gloves. As people want to defend themselves from these attacks. Well, if you're all falling out of plane, you might as well sell some parachutes. We've also, Lee Marks, head of the London-based brand, added, we are getting a lot of sales to police, the Ministry of Defence, security personnel, and more members of the public. We've also had a lot of inquiries from mosques, controversial, and synagogues, bucks, who are very concerned about security. Blade Runner says it also supplies NHS security staff. Mr. Mark said it was possible gang members and worried parents were among those ordering thin stab-proof vests to wear under their clothes. In either case, we are helping people protect themselves. Hello there, big sexy boy 246031. But are they fashionable? I'm going to show you a picture of them in a second. To either case, we are helping people protect themselves. He said an ultra-thin vest is in development and will soon be on the market, priced at £260 for front and back protection. Because you've got to protect the front, you've got to protect the back. And this is a picture of the hoodie. So, thank you very much, Ben's List. Thank you very much, Benny Boy. But look, this is the hoodie, and this is the stab proof. So anyway, I've been gabbling down the news, and we're going to quickly finish off this segment so I can get into. Let's see. Some of these I've done, like I don't even know why I did this. This is a good story. Band on the run. African musicians vanish on tour. When folk festival organisers invited a group from Burundi to perform, they were expecting to see 28 musicians. Although they all arrived safely from the African country to Switzerland, only 14 of them made it to the Freiburg where the festival was taking place. And by the time of their final show, there were only 3 left, all of whom promptly vanished after the concert. As they have 3-month-long Shenzhen tourist visas, it is now feared they could be planning to stay on illegally in any of the 26 European countries that allow passport-free travel. Hello there, people in Bradford doing the on illegal folk festival chairman Jean-Pierre Gauche said, "We do not know where they went. We told people they might have fled for asylum." I don't know why that's accent. He said it was important for us to show that taking part in the festival is, I don't know what the accent is not a ticket to Europe, but added, "We do not monitor our guests." Ultimate hustle. Ultimate hustle. I feel the rains down in Africa. Now, low flyer, and this is a good one. Low flyer could have kicked Stonehenge. A man who piloted a motorised parachute over Stonehenge was flying so low he could have kicked, a court heard. Timothy Dunham circled the ancient monument before flying over the standing stones. One eyewitness said, "It looked like he could have kicked them." The 26-year-old from Mere, Wiltshire, admitted contravening the rules of the air and was fined £600 at Swindon Magistrates Court. He avoided a ban for the incident in January because paramotors do not require a license to fly. But I love loopholes. I love the loopholes. The beautiful loop. You basically pay £600, have a little kick on Stonehenge. And yes, genius. That's how you get out of your country. You basically become a musician, go on tour, and then just disappear. Bucks, hello. Talking about synagogues about a minute ago. Stab-proof vest with synagogues. You interested? Stab-proof tights as well. And then let's just, I think that is about it from the Metro. Other than, like, Cara Delevingne has said that her boobs have got bigger. Cara fronts up about bra size. She says her boobs have got bigger. I just want to read the article. I can't because it's in blue, but basically her boobs have got bigger, she says. So that's I don't know what it says, that her boobs have got bigger. Now that's it. That's enough of the Metro for today. That's the end of Metro moments for today. So now let's move on to another segment, which thank you all for all of you on Twitter that did vote and made me go and see this, because it wasn't that bad. Now it's time for Fowl Originals movie review, because yeah, I went to the cinema today. So in Fowl Originals movie review today, on the Twitters, you could see pure journalism here, Bucks. Now, let me just show you. I did a poll on the Twitter. I didn't get a million, like, I don't care. Yeah. It doesn't matter, like, how many people voted. It's the fact that you did vote, because you did more than I did, and Brexit has been an absolute joke. Now, let's just switch you over so you can have a little look at the vote. So I put poll up, and I said, "So, I've been making #Tuesday my #cinema day to make sure I use my @Cineworld Unlimited pass. I'm slightly torn though. Which movie do I see tomorrow evening? #film Twitter and #TL. #RT. I love my bloody hashtags. And #vote in the #poll below. I'll watch the #winner." And I gave you, thank you very much, Bucks. I will do. Now, we had 2 movies here that I put in. The classy movie, the movie that's like, ooh, that's a movie that I could talk about themes and talk about, you know, like social issues and how it relates to now. And then I also put in The Spy Who Dumped Me. Guess which one won? So we had the choice of between Black KK Klansman. Thank you to all 14 people who voted. Thank you very much. And we also had The Spy Who Dumped Me. The Spy Who Dumped Me took a very early lead. Very, very quick early lead. And so I went and watched The Spy Who Dumped Me. It actually cost me another £2.50, which I'm going to show you now, because I had to suffer for my art. And I went to Solihull And when I watched it today, there you go, there's proof. And even though I have an unlimited card, I had to pay £2.50 because it was a super screening. I saw it in Solihull. Now, we'll be doing this every week, so feel free to tell me what. I'll do another poll next week, and you can pick what I watch, because here's the film. So first of all, what I wanted to do, because I thought this would be nice and classy, is and make it more of a professional show, because this is a professional show. Remember, everybody, this is no messing about show. This is the kind of show where people are like, oh, you know, this is professional. It looks professional. It sounds professional. It's almost like I prepared it slightly in advance beforehand. And that, my friends, is the trick. Now let's just put this on, which is the, and I'm gonna do it because you know what, I don't care. So this was, as I said, a really fun film actually. Like, but let's first of all, before we get into the film, let's make this. Oh, I hear, Mila and Katie, you've brought a clip with you from the film. Oh yes, we have. Well, would you mind if I show it? Well, that's fine. That's what we're here for. So, quite briefly and quite quickly, a little bit of the trailer of this film.
In a moment, everyone is going to start shooting. They all want what you've got, and they'll kill each and every one of us until they get it.
Oh my God. God, I killed someone! I killed someone! Stop yelling!
Ha ha!
We're gonna sit in the corner all night?
I want to give you guys a
30
little.
years old. I wear a Hawaiian shirt to work.
My boyfriend dumped me in a text.
Let's set a shit on fire. Burn, burn, burn in the fire.
In the bad situation.
We just want to talk about Drew Thayer. He's your boyfriend, right? Drew's CIA.
So yes, so basically this movie is a lot funnier than I gave it credit for in the first place. Let me quickly break you down a hopefully non-spoiler based version of this, because it's only just come out. Watch it in theaters this weekend. So The Spy Who Dumped Me is a story about Mila Kunis, who seems to have finished her run in that 70s show. No, it's about like two women. They're at like a birthday party, and I thought I was going into this as this was going to be feminism the movie, but no, it was actually comedy the movie. The movie starts off in like a really like classic, and as you can see from this, like classic kind of like spy thriller kind of way, and it looks amazing. And if you did not know, you would have assumed that it was a normal thriller of some kind, an espionage, and it's badass. And then that then ends up getting like intercut with this birthday party, which is where Mila Kunis is there, and Kate McKinnon, Kate's there, and she's all like singing, and like she's amazing at improv, and I don't care who fights me on this. Yeah, she's actually really good at improv, and this movie was, it seems as if a lot of her just like chewing the scenery everywhere. Mila Kunis is awesome as well, and Justin Theroux, but basically her boyfriend's just dumped her, and she's all like, wah, wah, wah. And then they're all like, we're gonna burn his stuff, and then they got to burn his stuff, and then he calls back and says, don't burn it, I'm gonna see you tomorrow. Stuff happens. She gets put in the back of a black panel van and is told, your boyfriend's a spy, and she's like, oh my God. And then her friends all go like, her friend is all mental and stuff, and it's a very fun film actually. But basically they have to go around Europe and kind of be spies, but accidental spies, like that Jackie Chan movie, The Accidental Spy. It's actually very good, and there's some really funny bits in it, which there's a scene where like this. I mean, just generally some of the scenes, I was very impressed. Like I sat there watching it. There weren't a lot of people in the cinema. There was not very lot of people in the cinema for this film, but there was a joke in there when they were driving along, and they're like, okay, you need to lose those two cars behind us, and they're like. And like they're shooting at us, we're in danger, you need to lose this guy behind us. They're like, that's great, I just smoked a lot of meth. That was a great joke. And just generally, there's a joke about the package that they have and what happens. And just like the chemistry between Mila Kunis and Kate McKinnon, it felt like, if anybody's watched The Heat, which is actually a decent film, Sandra Bullock is decent in The Heat. This is what it felt like. It was actually very funny. I was very surprised. I lolled several times actually. No one else did. but some of the jokes were quite layered, and it maybe took a bit of chance to get to them. It would definitely be quite fun on a rewatch. Classic popcorn flick. A lot of twists and turns, obviously, and some great characterizations and some great comedy performances the whole way through. And I would watch it again. I wouldn't have paid £2.50 for it though, but I would have paid more, like £12.50 for it, like a normal ticket price. And if you wanted to see like just a popcorn flick with like a few risque jokes, but nothing really too like over the edge. Like it felt very safe. It was very safe comedy, but it's still there, and it was directed by a woman. So women can do action, and the action set pieces are amazing. Actually, the fight sequences are very, very well choreographed. Like I wasn't bored during the film whatsoever, and it wasn't like an overarching. There wasn't an overarching. The women are in danger, and there wasn't an overarching like, oh, they're doing this for the love. There were certain points during the film where it's like, oh yeah, they're all human beings. But there was a lot of like, don't trust that person, and the twist just kept on coming and coming and coming and coming. I don't think I could have picked whom was doing stuff at the beginning. That's where I'll leave it. And also ends on sweet potential sequel material as well, because that was the coolest thing about this movie. This could be a franchise, yeah. Maybe not a great franchise, maybe not in the cinemas every year franchise. Great like TV series, straight to DVD kind of situation, or straight to VOD situation. So on that, on tonight's Fowl Original movie night Barry Norman situation, Spy Who Dumped Me gets, and I didn't want to like do a star system or anything because I thought that it's a little bit like it's too gauche, it's too camp. So instead, thumbs up. So the Spy Who Dumped Me Fowl Original gives it a thumbs up. So you should I recommend that you potentially go and watch it. It's pretty damn good. It's hello there, Christine. It's actually a decent film, and I mean, if you like Mila Kunis, if you like Kate McKinnon, like it's not like a lot of these films at the moment. And I automatically had a bias against this film when I saw the trailer. I was like, oh, this is going to be terrible. This is going to be all about how men are stupid and women are awesome. But it really, really wasn't. It was written from a fair and balanced point of view. So there you go. That's A Spy Who Dumped Me. Now, on to, and this will be every Tuesday. We're gonna have a new movie, and I will put something up on the Twitters so you can vote. And basically, I'll go and see the movie that I'll only give you 2 choices though, and I'll give you 2 choices, and I will go see that film because that will make sure that I use my unlimited pass. Thank you, Cineworld, for making me spend £2.50 to go and watch this when you did unlimited screenings loads and loads of times. Why am I paying you more than I did before? I don't mind. It was a great film. Great night was had by all. I need to go and see Black KK Klansman as well, so I will see that, but I might just do a little thing about that anyway. Anyway, back to what is our classic segment, and you know what it is. In other news! So, in other news tonight, a lot of stories out there that I wanted to briefly touch upon, and as I said, I want to get these shows like these. I was hoping that would be out and we'd done by the minute 45, but it looks as if still got a little bit of time to pop a little egg of in other news on you. So I'm going to slice it down a little bit though, because I don't feel like we have time to talk about them all now. But we're going to quick fire them. So. In other news, University Challenge to pose gender-neutral questions. University Challenge is to focus on posing gender-neutral questions, says the show's executive producer. Peter Gwynn made the remark following a viewer complaint that the questions were skewed towards men. We try to ensure that when hearing a question, we don't have any sense of whether it was written by a man or a woman, he said. Comes in response to criticism that none of the female contestants appear on the quiz show. In an interview with Radio Times, Gwynn said, "We agreed. Improvement was needed and decided to rectify it. Perhaps gender neutrality is what we aim for," he said, referring to both the style and content of the questions on the BBC Two programme. He added that questions should never sound as if they are directed more at men than women. There are numerous balances we try to achieve in the questions we cast for each match, between the arts and sciences or between contemporary and historical themes, and we recognise that the gender balance is of great importance. all male teams. It's not the first time the long-running program hosted by Jeremy Paxman has courted controversy over alleged sexism. And blah, 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 blah. And that was not what the spoiler of... That's the thing, yeah? It was a good film. Anyway, go back to... In other news, printed 3D gun blueprints back online, like they were never offline. Crypto-anarchist Cody Wilson fired the world's first 3D printed handgun in 2013. A firm that distributed 3D blueprints for guns has circumvented a ban on sharing them online by selling flash drives containing the files. The designs had been available for free download, but a temporary ban was imposed by a US judge concerned that they could fall into the wrong hands. Defense Distributed now promises to deliver the drives to customers in select states. Its suggested price is $10, £7.70, but customers can choose how much to pay. The history of what the Texas-based firm's founder Cody Wilson calls the downloadable gun has been a checkered one. Computer-aided designs were originally published online in 2013, but the website was quickly ordered to remove the files over fears they could be used by terrorists or criminals to make untraceable ghost guns. In a surprise move and following lengthy court action from Defense Distributed, the US Department of Justice ruled in July that the blueprints did not represent a national security threat and could be put back up online. They were downloaded thousands of times, prompting outcry from 19 US states led by Washington State. They launched a legal action against the US government. That, in turn, led to a federal judge issuing a temporary ban, which saw the files once again removed from the internet. Now back online, the files are only available for purchase or delivery to customers based in states that have not imposed a ban. Those living elsewhere are told, your masters say you can't be trusted with this information. Users can also submit their own files to sell on the platform and will get a 50% cut. At a news conference, Mr. Wilson said his firm had already received 400 orders. I'm happy to become the iTunes of 3D guns if I can't be the Napster, the news site Ars Technica reported him saying. And then they talk about Napster and stuff. Defense Distributed files cover a range of firearms, including 3D printable components that could make a weapon version of an AR-15 semi-automatic rifle, a gun that has been used in US mass shootings. So, you know, not a good idea. Now, I'm going to move on to in other news. Trump warns Google, Facebook and Twitter in row over bias. 1 minute ago, US President Donald Trump has warned Google, Twitter and Facebook they are treading on troubled territory amid a row over perceived bias. He said they had to be very careful after earlier accusing Google of rigging the search results for the phrase Trump News. An aide said the administration was looking into the issue of regulation. Google said its search engine set no particular agenda, and was not biased towards any political ideology. Speaking to reporters at the White House, Mr. Trump said, Google had really taken a lot of advantage of a lot of people. It's a very serious thing. Adding the names of Facebook and Twitter, he said, they better be careful because you can't do that to people. We have literally thousands of complaints coming in. He gave no details on what action he might take. However, when asked earlier about Google, Mr. Trump's top economic advisor, Larry Kudlow, said the administration was taking a look at whether it should be regulated and would do some investigation and some analysis. Suppressed. Analysts say there is little bit to back up Mr. Trump's claim, and it is unclear how he could take action. Some said attempts to alter search engine results could violate the First Amendment, although his administration could make it difficult for Google by looking into its dominance of the market. In an earlier tweet, Mr. Trump accused Google of prioritizing negative news stories from what he described as the national left-wing media. He said most of the stories that appeared on the results page were negative and the conservative reporting was being suppressed. And he got some, I'm just going to quickly whack the tweets over here. So, Google News search for Trump news shows only the viewing reporting of fake new media. In other words, they have it rigged for me and others so that almost all stories and news is bad. Fake CNN is prominent. Republican, conservative and fair media are shut out. Illegal. 96% of results on Trump news are from national left-wing media. Very dangerous. Google's and others are suppressing voices of conservatives and hiding information and news that is good. They are controlling what we can and cannot see. This is a very serious situation. Will be addressed. Last week he said social media were totally discriminating against Republican conservative voices and would not let that happen. A lot of crap from Trump, obviously, and they have not. For news, this does not have seemed, it's just Google News algorithm optimized for actuality and proximity of an event, but it is generally not optimized to look for political orientation. In his tweets, Trump claimed that 96% of the news articles presented by Google in response to the phrase Trump News were from left-wing outlets. He did not name the source of this figure. But the Verge website reports it appears to have come from analysts by Paula Boylard at the conservative news site PJ Media. Ms. Boylard reported the 96% figure and said CNN had the greatest number of featured link, which President Trump mentioned as well. I performed the search multiple times using different computers, rated to different users, and Google returned similar results, she wrote. While not scientific, the results suggest a pattern of bias against right-leaning content. In other news, Texas police search for mystery woman ringing doorbell. Police are searching for a mystery woman wearing what looked like broken wrist restraints. She was filmed ringing a doorbell in Texas. The night caller, apparently barefoot and semi-clothed, was captured on a surveillance camera approaching a home in Montgomery County. By the time the householder answered, she was gone. The resident reviewed the security footage and sent it to police. Montgomery County Sheriff is looking into the suspicious incident. The Montgomery County Sheriff's Office is investigating the suspicious incident that occurred in Montgomery, Texas. Please share this post so it can be monitored by law enforcement if you have any information regarding this. The unidentified resident of the home in the community of Sunrise Ranch, 60 miles north of Houston, told police the doorbell rang at 3:20 a.m. local time. An unnamed neighbor told ABC News the same woman rang the doorbells of other homes in the area, but had also vanished by the time anyone answered. In a statement, the Sheriff's Office said no match had been confirmed between the woman and anyone from missing persons reports. Deputies and detectives were reviewing these flyers for any similarities, but as of now, none are believed to be the woman in the video, said the statement. Authorities have conducted a door-to-door search of local homes and businesses and circulated images of the woman on social media. Ooh. And then another quick, in other news, a fake billionaire is fooling people on Twitter. Warren Buffett, CEO of Berkshire Hathaway Incorporated. Warren Buffett is not tweeting inspirational quotes, but fake Warren Buffett is, and you may have seen his advice this week. An account impersonating the 87-year-old American investor shot to social media fame on Saturday when it bagged almost 300,000 likes for its debut tweet. Warren Buffett. Advice for all the young people. Number one, read and write more. Number 2, stay healthy and fit. Number 3, networking is about giving. Number 4, practice public speaking. Number 5, stay teachable. Number 6, find a mentor. Number 7, keep in touch with friends. Number 8, you are not your job. Number 9, know when to leave. Number 10, don't spend what you don't have. Since then, it has amassed close to 2 million likes for its personal, motivational, inoffensive soundbites. The real Warren Buffett, CEO of conglomerate Berkshire Hathaway, does have an account, but he hasn't tweeted since 2016. The Warren Buffett account has telltale signs of fakery. No blue tick. Think about it. Warren Buffett is a big deal. Why would his account be verified? And it's all about fake news. Things I've learned with age. Warren Buffett. And that's the last time that he retweeted. Can the viral success of the fake account be attributed to our desperation for positive content in these dark times? Or maybe we're hoping to walk in on the footsteps of one of the world's most successful investors. The BBC has contacted @WarrenBuffett99 to find out more behind the account, but it has not responded to queries. Meanwhile, if you're mourning the loss of morning pick-me-up, fear not. You can turn to some bona fide Warren Buffett words of wisdom. The less the prudence with which others conduct their affairs, the greater the prudence with which we must conduct our own. And finally, before we get to the last story, I wanted to quickly talk about, which is a story which has just hit prominence, and this is a story which I wanted to really touch upon because, well, it's insane, and I want to come to it. So, Louis C.K., fellow comedians hit out at Louis C.K.'s stand-up return. This is from the BBC. Louis C.K. has performed stand-up comedy for the first time since he admitted last year to several instances of sexual misconduct. In November 2017, the month after the #MeToo campaign against sexual harassment began, the comedian released a statement confirming allegations made against him by 5 women were true. There is nothing about this that I forgive myself for, he said, and added he could hardly wrap his head around the scope of hurt he has caused. On Sunday night, Louis C.K. made an unannounced appearance at the Comedy Cellar in Greenwich Village, New York. He did not make reference to his past behaviour. Instead, his set consisted of typical Louis C.K. stuff, including racism, waitresses' tips, and parades. Noam Dwarman, owner of the venue, told the New York Times. According to Mr. Dwarman, the comic was given a warm greeting by the audience when he took to the stage. Talking to OS on the BBC World Service, Mr. Dwarman conceded the manner of Louis C.K.'s appearance did not allow the audience to decide in advance whether to see the comic's routine or not. I can't deny that someone who was ambushed by him has a different right to be upset about it than someone who wasn't there and is just complaining about it. As news of his return emerged, other comedians were critical on social media. Louis C.K. being banished from stand-up comedy wasn't some kind of petty punishment, it was a workplace safety issue, tweeted Portland-based comedian Briz Farley. Comic Writer and actress Melinda Hill said Louis C.K. was spearheading the #MeTooSoon movement. Musical comedian Ali Gwertz recalled one of her fondest memories had been singing a song about Louis C.K. right before he made a surprise appearance. The idea of him doing a drop-in now feels awful, she tweeted. I believe people can grow and change, but its urgency to bring him back so soon just sends such a bad message. According to Mr. Dwarman, one audience member complained on Monday about not being told in advance of Louis C.K.'s appearance so they could decide whether they would have wanted to be there or not. Others emailed in to say they were pleased to have seen him. I understand some people will be upset with me, said Mr. Dwarman, and I care about doing the right thing. However, he added, there could not be a permanent life sentence on someone who did something wrong. On Twitter, fans of Louis C.K. also defended his appearance. Why should Louis C.K. stop doing what he loves? Wrote one. You can stop buying tickets and stop watching. Although, as several replies pointed out, this was an unannounced set, therefore Louis C.K. was not on the bill when people brought their tickets. So, before we end the show tonight, thank you all for joining us again for another Fowl Originals news round with obviously new segments this evening. The Fowl Originals film round, and you can help me out in many different ways. If you go to fowloriginal.com, you can get to the support bit. So if you go to fowloriginal.com, you can check out all the little stuff I do. Obviously, everything I do basically goes straight up to this on my... and I'll get all of the other stuff coming up as well from my Fowl Original from this channel. So you'll be able to get that content that you can watch my wrestling stuff there. And then if you go to support the channel, just here, you can go to the Patreon. You can also support via Streamlabs. The easiest way though, for most people, is probably just to go to click the PayPal button. When you click the PayPal button, you can just type in whatever you want in dollars, and then you can make it a monthly donation if you want. And then you can also log into your PayPal account, donate with a credit card or debit card, and that really truly does help me out, and that would be awesome if you could do that. If not, liking, sharing and subscribing to all the things that you're seeing this on are just as good. But obviously, if you want to help a brother out to do some of the stupid things that he's doing, then that would totally help me out, and I would be eternally grateful, and I would definitely talk about you in good humor with people that I know. Now, on that note, we're going to be ending the show tonight on quite a funny story, really, which I thought like we wanted to do. So, and finally, before we close up shop, is this story. The Prime Minister danced with school children in Cape Town, South Africa, as she began a 3-day visit to Africa. She will also visit Nigeria and Kenya on a trip. The visit with, and basically, it's Theresa May doing a little bit of dancing. So let's have a little look. There she is. The lady in the red is Theresa May. Theresa May has been dancing. The kids, look at her. Look at her doing the dancing. She's not too bad. Let's do some more dancing. She's loving that beat. She is loving that beat. Look at her. She is loving that beat. And look at, that's the face of our Prime Minister, Theresa May. I love her so. I love her so. And on today, which is hashtag National Power Rangers Day, Power Rangers 25 today, as much as I'm going to end this with another one of my faves of that era. And this is a show that a lot of you may or may not know, but I loved it anyway. So there were several different shows that came around at the same time. We had, as I said, we had loads. So the big ones that came out were like VR Troopers. You like Trump? Oops, sorry. Talk about Farage, Brexit. You like Trump? I don't like. I'm not a big fan about Trump. But anyway, we are almost about to run out of time. Today was about National Power Ranger Day. We can talk about Trump, etc. tomorrow, because unfortunately, as I said, we like to be a little bit against the grain here and like to go against exactly what. So here we go. And this is what I'm going to end it on today. So thank you all for joining. Obviously, go to fowloriginal.com to help support the channel if you want to. And if you'd like to, you can also just help me out by subscribing. So let's end it on one of my favourite TV shows of all time. that was made around the same time, which is
3 typical average kids inside a haunted mansion. Just by chance, Frida goes to Nathan Beetleborg.
Big Bad Beetleborgs. Big Bad Beetleborgs.
Look now, they're superheroes armed with super.
Now I'm just going to quickly, before we do end, I love this guy, yeah, here. So sort of, let's go back. So it's 3 kids. Look at this guy, Flabber Billy Forrester. I don't know what he's up to now, but whatever he's up to, it's going to be killing at Edinburgh Fringe probably next year. And so thank you very much for joining. This has been Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Tomorrow we'll be having a weekly wrestling recap happening on YouTube on the Fowl Original Wrestling channel. But you can also go to Fowl_Original to help me out on Twitter. Or to FowlOriginal.com and support. I'll bring her out and support the channel. This has been Fowl Original. Thanks for watching. See you next time. Bye.